My name's Gary Schotten, and I'm sitting here with you in this, my business, my machine shop, and I'd like to start with just a little history of something I learned back in the early 70s on my real first job. Now, I worked for my dad as a teenager, as a young youth and a teenager, and so I had a job, but I didn't get a paycheck that I remember. I got blessed, and we had all that we needed, and we got a little money here and there, but it wasn't like a W-2 paycheck, and the only W-2 type paycheck was working for this large oil company, and I was the plant engineer and construction manager and eventually superintendent of a fairly large construction operation about 90 miles from Yellowstone National Park. We lived there 9 years. Our children were born there. It was a great life. I learned something. I learned that that's not what I wanted to do all my life, but I also learned a lot of good things. But in the process, we would go over to Yellowstone National Park where there's a lot of bears. And I took a picture, and I have this in my mind of this sign that says, "Please do not feed the animals. The animals will grow dependent on the handouts and will not learn to take care of themselves." Wow, is that a perfect definition of entitlement? If you continue to feed the animals, feed the bears, they will not learn to take care of themselves. Entitlement is such a big deal for a lot of people around the world, and a lot of people in America. There's somebody always looking for someone else to take care of them. Why doesn't the government give me a better job? Why doesn't the government give me better living conditions? Why doesn't, and all that is good and fine, but it's not up to the government. They're just laying the ground rules so that you can excel and be a better provider, a better business owner, a better employee, a better manager. You see, God's Word says that He gives us power to gain wealth. We have that power, but He doesn't give us wealth. He gives us the power to get wealth. And we need to be looking at that and be very sensitive on how can we be more godly in not expecting entitlements, not even expecting certain entitlements from God. I know that sounds maybe a little anti-religious, but I fully believe that God expects me to get up, use my brain, use my body, use my 5 senses, use my intellect, use my personal drive and desire to succeed, and I will learn how to take care of myself and even manage others and take care of other people. That's part of what God has for us. We should help take care of ourselves first, but I don't believe where I'm just saying, hey, don't help somebody that needs help. No, help them. But don't go beyond the point of making it an entitlement. We have certain things that are major disasters. Well, that's fine. We have a major disaster. Let's send all effort, plenty of money, plenty of ability to help these people get back on their feet as fast as they can. That means that support has to be pulled away. I can't imagine how much money we've sent to the country of Haiti. I've been to Haiti a couple times. It's been a while. It's depressing. There's such a mindset of somebody has to take care of me. I can't make it on my own. And yet in the same split half of the island is with the country of Dominican Republic. This doesn't make sense. They're the same island, and one is prosperous and one is dependent upon someone sending them money. That's called entitlement. I think when I'm about to slip into something called entitlement, I have to be careful of having clear communications. It happens maybe when I'm here at work. If I start buying lunch every Friday as a nice gesture, and I say, hey, wasn't expecting it, so Friday I just, hey, I'll buy lunch. It sounds fine. Then the next week I buy lunch again. By the third week, no one's bringing their lunch on Friday. No one has any money on Friday because we're expecting the company to buy lunch. We created an entitlement. We had that in our little farm. We had one employee, He was a nice, hard-working guy, and one year he got a $1,000 bonus because the year was hard. They did a wonderful job of working extra hard to get a major harvest in. But you know, the next year he knocked on my sister-in-law's door and says, "Where's my $1,000? What's the problem? You gave it to me last year. Why don't I get it this year?" Well, this year wasn't as good a year. It was like a bonus. Watch out what you're doing with bonuses. Make it clear. Make clear communications. Then almost make an attempt to be unpredictable so people don't get in a habit. I'm not talking about being a Scrooge here. I'm not talking about not willing to help people. I'm not talking about being tight with my money. I'm just talking about the end result is that people will learn to take care of themselves. And they have that ability. They'll feel better about themselves. Now, last but not least is our good old government. You know, we've been sending aid around the world. We send every year a certain amount of aid. And unfortunately, that money a lot of times gets tied up in entitlements, things that are not actually producing. I think that we should look at certain of our aid giving and say, listen, here's our plan. We're going to exit in a 5-year plan. So here's what you got this year. Next year, you're going to get 20% yet less. The year after that, you're going to get 20% less. The year after that, you're going to get 20% less. And at the end of the 5th year, it's over. That's forcing those people to think, okay, what am I going to come up with? How am I going to make this work? How is this going to work? Because I'm not going to have the same thing I had last year. That's a way to break entitlements. I've seen that happen with missions and some giving on special projects. When they do a project, they purposely have a plan to pull back. I think it's wonderful. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you don't fall into the attitude of expecting an entitlement. You have been given a good head. You've got good intelligence. You have God on your side. You have every opportunity to succeed without somebody buttering your bread every day to make sure it's got butter on it. You can make it. And with God's help, you'll be a success.